Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds Podcast. I'm your co-host, Boom Gato, the cat that hands your stack card back. And to my left over here is the main man, assistant now, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form the dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas, run spicier content than your girls' OnlyFans.
What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. As my man said a second ago, we have a stacked card on our hands for UFC 299. We're going to go over the co-main event and the main event. Don't get me wrong, I liked a lot of the other fights. I like the Gilbert Burns fight, Peter Yan's fight. I'm digging that. Michael Page versus Holland. I'm digging it. I'm digging the entire card. A great main event card. We're going to focus specifically on the co-main event and the main event. So let's talk about it. First, we're going to talk about Poirier and Benoit. My man, hit him with them stats.
Dustin Diamond Poirier, the record of 29 wins, 8 losses. His last loss being up against Justin Gaethje by KO. Going up against Benoit Saint-Denis with a record of 13 wins, 1 loss. His last win was against Matt Frevola via KO head kick.
Listen, a lot of people were surprised that this fight got made. Not just a lot of people, but Saint-Denis himself was surprised. He said he was surprised when he got the call that Poirier had accepted. Why were people surprised? Dustin stands a lot to lose in this fight. Dustin is definitely one of those fighters that's top of the card, top billing. He's one of the A-list fighters. Not to say that Benoit isn't. He's a great fighter. He's dangerous, and that's exactly why. You know, Benoit hasn't hit that level of fame, that level of infamy as a Poirier, as a Gaethje, as a Khabib, as all these other A-list stars, A-list MMA stars. So a lot of people were surprised because Poirier didn't necessarily need to take this fight. He could have taken a fight against another A-list fighter, but he took this fight. Shout out to Poirier. Look, I'll be honest with you, apart from Poirier taking this fight, I think the world of that man. I think he's a cool-ass fucking dude, good fucking people. I think he's a great MMA fighter. I think a lot of the success that he has, he definitely deserves. Now, on to the fight itself. It's dangerous. I'll be honest with you, I don't know which way it's going to go. I want to lean Poirier just because I'm a little bit more familiar with his body of work. And I do think the man has the tools to win this. Now, what I will say this is that in the last year or so, I've seen a little bit of a change in Poirier. Now, most people may disagree with me. I have no problem admitting if I'm wrong on this point. I completely accept it, that I could be wrong. But I see the exit coming up on the highway of the career of Dustin Poirier. Let me explain before people lose their shit. I think Dustin Poirier is in the twilight of his career, not because he's not a great fighter still, not because he doesn't still have the skills or any of that other stuff. I just think that the man is getting to the point where, you know, he's had a lot of good fights. He's had a lot of dust-ups. He's had a lot of fights that he's taken a lot of damage in. So I see him coming up on that exit. Now, as Tony Ferguson is a great example, MMA fighters will quit when they want to quit. No one is going to make this man quit. I'll be honest with you. I think Dustin Poirier is one of those people that he's stubborn enough to where if people told him, hey, man, it's probably time to hang it up, he probably still wouldn't hang it up. Now, why am I bringing that shit up? I bring that up not because I'm here to challenge his heart, not because I'm here to challenge his skills. No, I think Benoit just has a little bit more in the gas tank, and that's the reason why I think he has a very good chance of coming up the winner. Listen, my mind says Saint-Denis. My heart says Poirier. So I'm going to go with that. I think Poirier can definitely win, and my heart wants that. But Saint-Denis can definitely win. What do you think about that, my man?
Look, I remember seeing a post, and it actually wasn't that long ago, that basically said something along the lines of, look, whether you like it or not, we're basically starting to see the end of an era of really damn good fighters. They listed off Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson we kind of already know about. Dustin Poirier, And let's be honest, Max Holloway is kind of on that list. We're kind of seeing the end of an era, the twilight of their career. Basically, this is their salad days. It's basically the beginning of the end. Is it gonna start with Benoit Saint Denis? Personally, I think this actually kind of might. I personally see the fight going TKO in the final round in favor of Benoit. And again, this isn't to say that Dustin should hang it up anytime soon. Maybe 2 or 3 fights, who knows? If he wants to hang him up, it's his choice. He can do what he wants with his life. Again, we said the same thing about Tony Ferguson. That man's not going to give up. That man is way too stubborn. Even when his own coaches told him, look, dude, you should probably hang it up. So, where Diamond goes from here is his decision. He's made a lot of smart moves outside of the MMA ring. I'm pretty sure you know he has A, his own hot sauce, and B, his own whiskey. He doesn't need to fight anymore. If he doesn't need to, he's got those to sort of rest his gloves on. Like, he can just bide his time on just that alone. Does that mean he's gonna give it less than an A+ effort in the ring? Absolutely not. I expect to see the absolute best of Diamond Poirier, just because, again, that's just the kind of guy he is in the ring. He does not like to give any sort of chaff or wee at all in the ring. When you see Diamond, you see a Diamond at his absolute best. However, I also do think there's a 4 or 5 year age difference in between him and Benoit Saint Denis. And to be honest, in this particular fight, I think this specific age range is just going to be of importance. This man has more energy. He's had more explosive wins in his resume. The last couple fights that Diamond has been in and whatever, they didn't look as explosive as what I've seen in Benoit. So personally, that's why I think it's going to go TKO final round for Benoit Saint Denis.
Listen, I can definitely see it going that way. Not in any way, shape, or form. I'm not gonna dispute that it won't go that way. It definitely can. I'll be honest with you. I hate to see Poirier go out like that, but it's definitely a possibility. I'm gonna. My heart says Poirier, but my mind says Benoit. So bet accordingly, gentlemen. Bet accordingly, y'all. That being said, let's move on to the next fight, the main event. And this one I'm interested for a myriad of reasons. Mostly because, as a lot of you are already aware, these two have fought before. As a lot of you know, it ended in a decision that a lot of Sugar Show fans were not happy with. Ended because of an injury, because of an ankle, because of a consistent injury that this man has had with that particular ankle. What was it? Well, despite what Sean O'Malley will tell you, he has a loss on his record. My man, hit him with the stats.
Marlon Cheeto Vera, with a record of 23 wins, 8 losses. His last win was against Pedro Munoz by unanimous decision. Going up against Sugar Sean O'Malley, with a record of 17 wins and 1 loss. That 1 loss was to one Cheeto Marlon Vera. But his last win was against Aljamain Sterling via TKO.
Listen. Again, Sugar can say whatever the fuck he wants. He has a loss. He has a loss to the man that he's about to get in the ring with. Listen, I'm nervous for this fight for really one reason. We've made it clear on the show that the arrogance of a Sean O'Malley has not been our cup of tea, not been our favorite, because at least me, I'm going to speak for myself. I feel like the UFC is trying to build an O'Malley into the next McGregor or another version of him. Listen, the problem here, and the reason that I'm a little nervous for the fight, is because fans of Cheeto, and I include myself in that, have always held this. Well, Cheeto whooped him. Don't matter if you don't like it. Ankle injury, blah, blah. Cheeto has that win. But Cheeto can lose this fight. He can. I think Cheeto has improved more over his fights than O'Malley has. I don't think O'Malley has been truly challenged, with the exception of the Peter Yan fight. But with that being said, listen, O'Malley has really relied on his right hand, and it's worked out for him great. That's phenomenal. He has a good right hand. I'm not going to sit here and dispute that. I think the problem is that he's relied on that to the point where it could potentially hinder him in the fight. Hopefully, Cheeto comes in with a good game plan, comes in with something that will surprise O'Malley. Because if Cheeto comes in there much like he did in the first fight, because I'll be honest with you, I went back and watched the first fight. Cheeto left himself open more than I care to see happen again. I think, although I think Cheeto has improved more than O'Malley, I do think that O'Malley's right hand has improved more than it originally was back in that fight that they had. Now, again, with that being said, it can still knock him out, and Cheeto can still win. I'm a little split on who I think is going to win. I'm going to make my pick and say I think the Cheeto show will officially start. I think a lot of people are going to be pissed, and unfortunately, I may have to eat my words because it is very possible, very, very, very possible that Sugar Sean can win and shut people like me up. What do you think about that, my mans?
Listen, here's the thing why I don't like that narrative about Sugar Sean constantly saying, oh, I haven't been defeated. It was just my leg they gave out. Yes, but if you look at that fight, who was dominating the fight in that case? It certainly wasn't the Sugar Show. It was the Cheeto Show at that time. If you want to rely on your broken leg as an excuse of, oh, he really beat me, my leg just gave out. Cool. You were losing the fight anyway. That being said, that was a couple years ago. It is a completely different plane. We have a completely different Cheeto variant, and we have a completely different Sean O'Malley in this case. I still think Cheeto is a little bit more headstrong than Sean O'Malley is. Sean O'Malley, again, like you said, he's very arrogant. So with that, it comes with a lot of blind spots. However, personally, I don't know, I can't explain it. There's some part of me, like some bullshit's gonna happen. Sugar's gonna somehow pull it out. I don't want it to happen. I think Sean O'Malley might take it. There's something, I can't explain it. Maybe it's because he has a little bit more experience under his belt. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because maybe it was the past couple of years. Maybe there's a couple rocky losses here and there for Cheeto. Maybe that's kind of shook his technique a little bit. I don't want this to happen, but I think Sugar Sean just might win it. And again, if I happen to be wrong, hey, I am glad to be wrong in this case. If the Cheeto Show happens, I will be all for it. But I do think it is going to rule. I'll say decision for Sean O'Malley. I don't think he has the wherewithal to really take Cheeto down. Cheeto seems a little bit more headstrong in the fight for that to really happen. However, if I get proven wrong, hey, I am glad to be wrong in that case.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. If it goes to decision, Sugar's gonna win. He's the fan favorite. He's the champion. I am personally under the belief that if you're the challenger, you have to go take the belt from the champion. So if it goes to decision, Sean's gonna win. With that being said, one thing that I will say, the level of opposition that each individual has fought, like it or not, man, Sugar has fought better opposition. You know, it's one of those things where I'm not a big old fan of it, but, you know, he beat Peter Yan, arguably. He beat Aljamain Sterling decisively. The names that Sugar Sean has on his resume as of now, I would argue are definitely better than a lot of the people that Cheeto has faced.
Triple C.
He beat Triple C. Again, not a fan, but listen, he beat him. So with that being said, listen, I'm just the names that the fighters, for example, Aljo beating Triple C, like all those things, like the fighters that have come into contact with the Sugar Show are of much higher caliber than those that have come into contact with Cheeto. So Sean does have that going for him. Now, again, he beat Aljamain pretty quickly. So did he really get tested? I don't know. Again, he arguably lost the fight against Peter. Yeah, man, listen. I want to see a lot of kicks coming from Cheeto. I want to see him target that ankle that has been for a long time his Achilles heel of Sugar Sean. Look, man, I'm with you. Sugar Sean can definitely win. And I'll be honest with you. If it goes to decision, he will win. If it doesn't go decision, he can definitely knock him the fuck out. I'd like to see an upset. I'd like to see an upset happen and see Cheeto win. But listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Sugar Sean won. Anything else you want to add to that, my man?
That's it for me.
And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.